So out of home definitely is hotter than ever. And I think it's partly, of course, it's because we're coming from a very dark place, right? Where no one was allowed out of their homes. And now, the world is slowly starting to return to normal. Consumers appreciate being outdoors. Consumer appreciate, being on the streets, going to stores, living their lives normally again. And we found that consumers therefore also appreciate out of home more than they ever have. They see our ads, they interact with them, and they get inspired by them. We just recently concluded a piece of research with the Harris poll that said that consumers, actually 4 out of 10 consumers say that they notice out of home even more now than than before the pandemic. And that we've asked that question in 2020 as well, and it's up by almost 10% over that too. So consumers definitely like our medium, and they appreciate the ads, and therefore the medium is hotter than ever.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the technology, that advertisers can use through programmatic. Also, we're very interested in outdoor video. So tell us about sort of how technology is evolving out of home and the opportunities that presents.
Yeah, absolutely. So the pandemic, in a sense, served us well. The pandemic gave the industry that was sort of embarking on a digital transformation the opportunity to really start thinking about how to build this out the right way and how to integrate digital and programmatic more into our transactions. So 2 years very well spent. We are now really coming to place where programmatic is starting to show impact. That's where most of the growth is coming from in our medium, digital and programmatic. Yeah, so video is another area that I'm excited about, and I think most of both buyers and out-of-home companies are. Huge growth area and out-of-home. We are about signage and screens, and with 5G, better screen technology, and consumers hitting the streets again, the opportunity to create advertising with, sound and motion, or just motion, is massive. Consumers respond well to it. Our medium lends it well to it. So we're very excited about it.
So we hear a lot about audience targeting. What does audience targeting mean for out of home?
Well, it's huge. The fact that you can now do it, and I think that advertisers and buyers more and more understand that they can, is a big deal for us. Out of home is about content and context and location. And, in today's world, when it's harder and harder to target based on data, there's restrictions around privacy, and there's restrictions around mobile data. Out of home really lends itself well to contextual targeting solutions, because right, who's in a location, what the weather is going to be like, what's happening right then and there, and you roughly know the audience depending on where they are. So our medium is all about context, and the fact that you can now target audiences and based on contextual targeting is huge for our medium. And I think not only can you use contextual methods to target in out of home, you can also now, because of audience targeting, embed out of home in a broader media context and from a broader media mix perspective. Out of home is kind of what glues all these different channels together as you follow a consumer throughout their consumer journey, travel throughout the day, places they are. The ability to now think about out of home as part of something bigger creates something really powerful for advertisers.
Awesome. And what's next? We hear about NFTs a lot. What's going on with NFTs and outdoor, and where might that go?
Well, the sky's the limit. I mean, NFTs is interesting for any form of advertising, but big one and out of home. I mean, a good example would be Intersection, who just have, or it might still be running, a great art campaign here in New York, where you can, anyone who's on the street can see a beautiful piece of art and then buy it through NFTs. I think out of home can be a great channel for consumers using NFTs to buy certain things, right? So it's big for us. And I think that ties back to what's big and out of home. I mean, we already mentioned video. We talked about programmatic. We talked about the digitalization. But, commerce driven through or facilitated by NFTs or other forms of technology, I think is the next big thing in out of home. Out of home is for a long time been viewed as a brand building medium, but it's not. It's great for driving performance and conversion. And NFTs, QR codes, and other forms of technology that we now have access to and that consumers are used to are, very exciting, and I think is going to help take our medium into the next, into the future.